Good morning. It's Saturday, March 13th. I'm pretty sure it's the 13th. I'm sure as many of you are much like me. It's really hard to keep up with dates sometimes. But I do know it's Saturday because I didn't have to work today. So there's a plus. It's a new moon and I woke up with the urge and the fire to really take advantage of the new moon and just of the energies of what's swirling around. And if you follow astrology, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, I will pinpoint you in the direction of someone to follow. There's a few people that I know. The Galactic Mystic is someone that I tune into very frequently. She's a beautiful being. There is Foxy, who I will share probably some information with. If you're on Facebook, which I'm not on that often, but I can share some information there. And then of course those are just personal people I know. And then of course there's tons of information out there on astrology and celebrity like people who, people follow and all that stuff. So anyway, so the stars and the planets and all the things, there's a lot of energy going on. And so I woke up this morning and I was just doing my morning thing, tapping into my higher self and tapping into all the things. And I just kept hearing, it's time for love. It's time for love. And of course, all of us probably think at some point or another, if not every day, I'm super in tune with love. Like, I love everything. I love, right? But I bet if you just take a step back and then either listen to yourself or kind of watch yourself, from a distance, in a sense, but there's a lot of things you're holding on to, and even probably saying inadvertently or thinking or attracting that don't feel very loving at times. And things are happening to you. I mean, there's just things, right, that are just like, what the hell? So I think it's really just important to take a step back and tune into that. Like, take intentional time to reflect and feel and sense and know and take that moment to understand where are you. Take that mental gauge, take that spiritual gauge, that physical gauge. Who are you surrounding yourself with around right now? Who on social media are you surrounding yourself with right now? And is that the right crowd? Is it a crowd that got you through 2020 and a little bit into 2021? Is it that crowd that you need to just cut ties with and let go lovingly? That they served their purpose. Is it time to cut those cords? So these are just things that I invite you, to really think about and dig into right now. Take this time to figure out where that foundation is, where you are. And the reason I say to do all that, right, is because right now is a really good time to set that foundation and take this canvas, this opportunity that's given to you, and create whatever it is that you're looking to create. And I mean, if that is in any aspect of your life, it could be career, it could be family, it could be money, it could be your spirituality, it could be, anything that revolves in your life. It could be a hobby that you're wanting to take up, or something that just lights you up, or you want to take up a new practice in something. Figure out what that looks like, because now's a really good time to start painting and creating and setting those intention on what it is that you're looking for, on what it is that you're wanting. And it doesn't have to be, the traditional, which I can find myself in a bit of a tradition of pen to paper. I love to pen to paper. And it could be doodles. It could be, I'm writing out intentions. I'd like to see a little bit more of this, and I'd like to make time for this, and I'd like to, I like to write that stuff out. I also like to doodle. I like to draw. I'm not an artist in the sense of like, I am not a Picasso or anything like that. I mean, I'm probably more like Picasso than anything else. But I like to just get it out, right? It could be squiggles and just a bunch of paint on paper or whatever. So that may be your thing, and it may not be your thing. Maybe your thing's gardening. Maybe get out there, and while you are hands deep into Mother Earth, you are setting these intentions. You are envisioning these attractions coming to you. You are the magnet that is pulling the things that you dream, the things that you want to see happen. Maybe it's more time with your family. Maybe you've had enough time with your family and now you need to set time and space for yourself. There is nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's you've spent so much time around a certain group of people that now you're like, you really miss some friends or people or family that you've really been distanced from for some time. So go there, pull that towards you, grasp that energy, right? Gardening, painting, drawing, doodling, writing, use it, right? I mean, if you followed me at all, or know just even a little bit about me, you know that I absolutely love music. I love to drum. I have a drum here. I have my rattle here. I'm outside, and it's gorgeous outside this morning. My kids are all still inside. Half of them are sleeping. And so I came outside. Like, I really wanted to tap into, drum a little bit, just enjoy the gorgeous atmosphere that I can before it's infiltrated with new sounds. And not that I am opposed to those, but right now it's not about that. So music, if you are, gosh, I don't know, if you're a crafter and there's just something that you can do that brings you joy while you take perspective on different things, then I invite you to do that, right? It's whatever calls to you. You know what your vice is. Maybe it's sitting outside with a cup of coffee. I don't know. You know. So do that. And so do that. Just take into perspective, right? Start thinking about the things that you lovingly want to release, so that you can set space for what it is that you're wanting to paint and create and make a reality for you. Let's see. So I would say if you can find some time today, like, get your feet on the ground, you know, bare feet if possible. If you're not someone who really likes to be bare feet, I get it. If you got some grass, or if you really, you know, you've got any little spot of anywhere outside that you can tune into, or just you want to touch a tree or lean into something, I invite you to do that. Something I really like to do as much as I can, but now's a good time for someone who hasn't had a lot of extra time. But feet on the ground, right? I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to envision, and this is a practice of mine and many people that I know, especially in some of the circles I'm in, but get out there, close your eyes, feet on the ground, and envision this connection, right? I mean, the connection is there, but I want you to vision the connection that you have with Earth, right? Earth sustains our ability to live. This is home, guys, no matter what, right? So it gives us the life force energy we need to survive. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to breathe in through your feet, in a sense. I want you to take a deep breath and envision it coming in from Earth. And I want you to envision it coming up from your feet through your legs. And you can envision it kind of just trickling up in whatever form that means for you. I don't even want to kind of give you some visions, because I want you to do it yourself. It could be like a smoke coming up. It could be like sparkles coming up. It could be, you know, whatever. Vines. It could be whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. But envision it coming up through the bottom of your feet, into your legs, up through your knees and your thighs and your hips. I want it to come up through your gut. I want it to come up through your chest and your lungs and your heart. I want it to come up through your throat. I want it to come up through your lips. I want it to come up through your head, into your eyes, into your ajna, into your crown. And then I want you to just let it do its thing. Imagine it just collecting all the things, right, that you're wanting to release. Set space for something you're not thinking of, right? But if it was me, I would let it collect all the things, all the emotions that don't serve me anymore, that are just hiding out somewhere waiting for something to snatch and trigger them out, right? Or maybe it's some physical things you wish you would change. I know for me, just having Lumen 4 months ago, almost 5 months ago, right? There's some things that I want to release. I want to start getting more active. There's extra poundage and extra things happening that are natural, and I'm not body shaming myself at all, but I'm ready to start moving and getting active again. And so that's just an example, right? But let it collect all the emotions that don't serve you anymore. Maybe it's mental things. Maybe it's things you say that you don't realize, right? So set space for it to collect some of the things that maybe aren't serving you because you speak them so much, or you think them so much, or you feel them so much. And so just let it start collecting, right? And then whenever you're ready, I want you to blow it out with a force. I mean, it could be like the deepest breath you've ever taken, and blow it the hell out. Let it go. Send it out with love. That's the key though. Like, it no longer serves me. I'm letting it go. Let it go be transmuted into something else for someone else in the most positive, uplifting ways, right? Just let it go. Let space free up. Head space, thought space, emotional space. Let things clear out so that you can attract in what it is you really want. That you have space for more of the things that you're ready to attract. And so through that practice, do that as many times as you want. But through that practice, like, you'll at least at a minimum feel clear, right? You'll just feel a little better. But then this is where you can go do that gardening and get your drumsticks out, or go doodle, or get a coloring book if you're one of those people that like to color. Or if you're a cleaner, man, if cleaning your house is where you get grounded and you feel good, go do that. But just do it. Make the time to do it. Set your space, intentional space, to sit in love and gratitude for all the things you have, for all the things that you're ready to release, and watch some things take place in your life. One thing I like to do may not be your thing. We have all got our different paths, but for those of you who may already have a practice, I like to write things down. It could be on Post-it notes, it could be on scratch pieces of paper, whatever. I like to write things that I want to attract in my life. And I like to fold them up on little pieces of paper. I stick them under a rock. If you know me, I've got rocks coming out everywhere. Not just rocks out here, but my house is like its own rock jungle. I usually find a piece of clear quartz or something to generate some energy around it, but I take my little piece of paper and I stick it under my clear quartz and I let it go. I can't tell you how many of these little pieces of paper I found when I moved. When Chris and I were packing up the house, he'd be like, here's some of your intentions. And I mean, before I knew it, I had a small handful of pieces of paper that had intentions on it from whatever practice I was doing, whether it was a new moon, it was, just a ritual I was doing, if it was just me just sitting down and just releasing and setting intentions just because it was the right time for me. Guys, more than not, I'm telling you, all that stuff happened, and it was just, it's amazing, right? I hate to say it shocks us, because it doesn't really shock us anymore, and Chris will tell you, right? Like, I make stuff happen. We make stuff happen. And it's just I wish sometimes. It's a simple I wish. And before you know it, it's happened. And sometimes Chris is just like, you did it again. And it's like, yeah. And little does he realize, right? I'm like, you just did it. And he's like, I guess I did. He leaves all that up to me and the kids. But it's just, my sister, when we were packing, and she's like, it's like, if you set your mind to something, everybody just has to sit back and hold on, because it's gonna happen. And in her saying that to me was just like I hadn't really thought about that, right? Or I hadn't thought about that in a long time. And so I guess that's why I'm here, is there's a lot of things we haven't really thought about in a while, or put perspective around, or we haven't taken intentional time for ourselves to take a gauge of where we are and where it is we want to go. And it's still early 2021, and for some of us, it's been hell already, right? I mean, we've lost loved ones, we've had medical things come up, we've had relationships disappear. We've had jobs lost. We've had a lot happen. We found ourselves in some deep depressions and barely climbing ourselves back out of them. And so I implore you, just take some intentional time, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes to yourself. Just do it. Do whatever you want with it, but just take the time for yourself. I've given you lots of suggestions and ideas, and you know, you'll find your own inspiration, but just do it. I think I've rambled on long enough, but you know, I thought that I would end this with a little bit of drumming today. And, you know, take this time, maybe close your eyes now and feel into this. Maybe this is where you'll find your inspiration on what you need to do today. But thank you for watching. Thanks for joining. And I missed this. I have not had the energy, or I would say I haven't wanted to, but I found myself in a lot of dark places over the last year too. And so it feels good to get out. It feels good to climb out for a minute, even if I only get to find this energy once a month or once every few months. I appreciate you supporting me, and I just know I'm here. You, I'm sure, can find a way to reach out to me. I love to help people. People are starting to seek me out a little bit more, and it just feels good to be of service again. So I'm here, and I'm sure you have other people that are there for you. So just take the time, set this space, and call them forward. So close your eyes if you want to. Don't if you don't want to. You can stare at me drum if you want, but maybe take this opportunity to fill into some things. And I will end the video after that. So be blessed, take care, and enjoy a little bit of this and enjoy your day. Namaste. Make it a good one.